Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is now June, which means it's that time of the month where we share with you our budget breakdown for the month and also our income breakdown for the month. And this month we spent the entire month of June in Japan, and as you guys may know, a lot of people were super curious about how we were going to do on our budget in Japan. Japan is incredibly popular right now, which we did not realize was going to happen when we booked all this. And also, Japan is very well known for being really expensive as far as people are concerned visiting there. So that's going to come into play into our budget. Another thing that a lot of people ask us about is if we include flights in our budget, and we always do in our monthly budget, but we don't fly somewhere every single month. As a matter of fact, this month, because we spent the entire month in Japan, we were mostly on the bullet trains, but we did have one flight in the month, and it was actually on the very last day of the month. It was on May 31st, going from Japan to where we are now, which is Taiwan. And what we usually do with flights is, and why our budget, we can keep it so low, is because we usually use either budget airlines. The Asian budget airlines are fantastic. They're not like some of the other ones that you've heard of. And then also we use points. And this time around, we treated ourselves by spending a whopping $82 on business class tickets and 40,000 points. And it was totally worth it.
Yeah, it was amazing. We flew on Eva Air, which we had never flown on them before. We had the full deal though. It was the full, it wasn't like a regional flight, it was the full lay flat seats, business class. It was amazing. 20,000 points per ticket and $41. That's all it costs, which is amazing. So we had a couple 100,000 Amex points sitting around, so we decided this would be a great use of them. And that is why it's just amazing. So we're going to start with that first. And you get the Amex points. People want to know, how do you get the Amex points? Because we have a lot of Amex points. You get them through the welcome offer that you get when you sign up for an Amex card. The two best ones that we recommend in all our videos are the Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum. And the Amex Gold is great because you do earn 4 times points on dining and groceries, and that's pretty much the most going. So if you're planning on doing this full-time travel, a year or two from now, and you want to bank some points like we did, get the Amex Gold, just put your groceries on it like you normally would, and you're going to accrue hundreds of thousands of points through the welcome offer and the points that you get 4 times points on that. So that is how we did it. We did several cards to get those points, and we have a lot of business class flights coming up. Totally worth it. Now that we've done it, I don't think we can go back. Can we go back?
It's going to be really hard. They really did spoil us absolutely rotten on that flight. The business class area was not full at all, so the flight attendants just kept themselves busy by offering us things constantly. And they even ask you up front, like, do you want us to talk to you or whatever? And we're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to sleep. It was the middle of the afternoon, and there wasn't going to be but 1 hour time difference between Japan and Taiwan, so we were like, oh yeah, we're not going to sleep. So I just did crosswords and read my books, and I don't know what you did in your seat.
Yeah, I just watched movies and just marveled at how awesome the seats were. So we do get a lot of questions though, because we do say we use Amex a lot, and I wanted to touch on this in this section because the question always comes up, well, can you use Amex cards overseas? A lot of people say you can only use them in America because it's American Express, and you can use them overseas. There are probably some places where you can't use them, but the point I want to make is that it's pretty much irrelevant whether you can use American Express overseas or not, because you do need 5 credit cards at a minimum if you're going to start doing full-time travel. And the reason for that is you will lose 1 or 2 throughout the year. It is beginning of June. We've already lost 2 this year, and by lost them I mean your card will expire while you're gone, or you'll get a fraud alert and they'll say, hey, good news, we're sending you a new card. Or they'll update your card and put like a new chip in it, and they'll send you a new card for that. So we've had all of those things happen to us, and So if you start the year with 5 cards, the thing is, you're not going to get those replacements until you go home. So now, like right now, we're down to 3. And that's fine. We're going to make it through. But you're going to have 5 cards. So if one of them is an Amex, you really want to spread them out. You want to have a couple cards from each bank and just cover all your bases. So it really doesn't matter if the Amex card is accepted everywhere. You're going to have one card that will be accepted for whatever you're doing if you're doing this properly. So don't worry about that. We've actually had more trouble with metal cards in Japan than in Amex. When we were in Kanazawa, there were signs everywhere that said, don't use metal cards, don't use metal cards. So like, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is a metal card, couldn't use it. Had to pull out the IHG card even when we really wanted to use the Chase card, they wouldn't let us use it. So, you know, the bottom line here is use the cards to get what you want, but don't worry about which particular one you have, because you're going to need a lot of them to do that.
For sure.
So that was our flight. We're going to jump now into housing, which is always the worst part for Japan. And this was kind of an odd month for us because we normally stay one place for a month, but Japan is different. It's just different. So we actually slept in 7 different beds.
That's a lot of beds in 1 month.
Yeah, it was a lot of moving around, more than we like to do. Part of the reason is because Japan is expensive and you're kind of like hitting it all over the place. So we started out at the Yokohama Intercontinental, which was amazing, May 1st through the 3rd, and that cost us 32,000 IHG points.
Yeah, and that stay was actually really quite nice. We got a nice upgrade there as well. We had reserved the city view and they gave us the bay view, and it was not just the bay view, but it was like bay and city view from where our room was positioned. It was beautiful, and it was bigger too than the room that we had originally reserved. So that was a really nice stay.
Then this was actually something we didn't know. This was Golden Week in Japan, which is the most expensive week of the year. That also complicated things. So when we checked out of there, there was like nothing available in Tokyo for under $300 a night. Nothing. So we decided to stay in Yokohama for another 2 nights and just kind of got an off-brand to us. It's a brand here, but so Tetsu Fresa Hotel in Yokohama. It was good. May 3rd to the 5th. $272 though for the 2 nights. So it was like $136 a night, and it was pretty small room. That's what you're looking at if you go during Golden Week, so I don't advise that time period.
Yeah, we were trying to ride out those last, because we did use our points, like you said, at the Intercontinental. We were but the points went way up for those last couple of nights in Yokohama and anywhere else, and we were trying to go to Tokyo after Yokohama, so we didn't want to go too far away. And pretty much anywhere you looked, like you said, it was going to be a couple $100, $3, $4, $5, $6, even $1,100. We saw a hotel room.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. So then the next 6 nights, we used free night certificates, which came in handy. The certificates you get when you get a new credit card. Generally, it is one of the welcome offers you can get. You can get either points or free nights, and we do have a link in the description to all of these cards, and you can just click the link and you'll see what the welcome offer is for you. If you sign up for it, then you'll get whatever that welcome offer is. So we had done one previously where we got 6 free nights to use. We had those. We stayed at the Conrad in Tokyo, which is a very expensive hotel. We had a free night certificate though, and they actually upgraded us to a suite, which was amazing.
Yes, this was actually the room that was going to be $1,100. And when we checked in, she even told us, she said, this is our busiest night yet of Golden Week, because it was basically the last night of Golden Week. And there were so many people checking in because we have diamond status with Hilton. They, kind of moved us to the front, checked us in, and gave us the suite upgrade. If you haven't seen the room tour, I'll show you a little bit here, but if you haven't seen the full room tour, you can head over to Travel Asia with Allie. I have the full room tour on there if you want to check it out. But it was such a treat to stay there. It was a beautiful suite, and we had access to the lounge there as well. They spoiled us rotten. It was really hard to walk away from there and head over to the next hotel, but at the Messam, which is a Marriott Bonvoy property, Autograph Collection, we used 5 nights, free certificate, 5 free night certificates there, and they treated us really well too. They also gave us an upgrade of a corner room.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was one of the better views I think we've ever had from a hotel room. I took a lot of pictures out the window. That was really cool. So we loved our time there. So that was basically 6 free nights in Tokyo during the most expensive time of the year. So that worked out pretty well. Then after that, the prices started to come down. So we stayed another 6 nights in Tokyo. We went to one of our old standbys. Now, this is not the best hotel, but it is the cheapest hotel. So,
well, the reason why we usually pick this particular place is because it's in an area of town that we happen to like quite a lot and we frequent often. And probably one of our 2 favorite ramen shops in all of Tokyo is in this neighborhood where this hotel is, and that's the ICI. And we really actually enjoy it that, we put up with a little bit smaller room.
Yeah.
But we paid a good price for it, and we could walk to most of the things that we wanted to go to. You really can't beat that.
this is where we did our date night video. If you've seen that from this hotel. It was, for the 6 nights, $402 or $67 per night, which is incredible. For this area of Tokyo, it's right near Akihabara. You can walk there from that hotel, and so that's a steal. You won't always get that price. There, like during Golden Week, that hotel was like $170 a night, which is why we stayed in Yokohama.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. You can find it real cheap though, like that, if you're just looking at the right dates. So from there, we went on to Kyoto, and we stayed at the Hyatt Place, which was really nice for 10 nights. That came out to $1,275, or about $127 a night. But we did earn points that were worth $166, so we're going to call that $1,109 for the 10 nights. So Kyoto was amazing. It was great. We had a great time, and the Hyatt Place was pretty nice.
It was real nice. As a matter of fact, it was an incredibly popular hotel. They were booked every single night. Every single night that we were there, they were booked solid. We ended up with a little corner room, which was really nice and spacious, and we really enjoyed our stay in Kyoto. We had a good time there.
From there, we went to Fukuoka for 4 nights, 60,000 IHG points. Get the IHG Premier card if you are doing this, because you'll note when we stay at IHG, we always stay in 4-night blocks. That's because if you have the IHG Premier credit card, your 4th night is always free with points. So that's why we do that, and it makes it 25% cheaper, and it's a really good deal. So that's why we did that. They also had a nice club lounge, and so they also gave us breakfast every day for free because of your platinum status, and so that was amazing. So all in, that took us to the 31st. We paid $1,783 in cash. We used 92,000 IHG points, and we used 6 free night certificates to get through jumping around the most expensive part of Japan in the most expensive month. Which, in hindsight, we probably won't come back in May.
We've learned a lesson. Let's see, last year we did the summer. It was hot. This year we did do, well, you remember in April we were also in Japan. We were there for Sakura Hanami, so that was a good experience then too, but probably wouldn't have stayed through Golden Week if we had thought about it beforehand.
All right, so jumping into the rest of the transportation, flights, as we mentioned, getting the Amex points, $82, and that was business class flights. No cruises, local rideshare, we spent $93. We did take a couple of high-speed bullet trains. Those were $471 total, which is pretty good. And then we did ship our bags from place to place. You really do want to ship your bags if you're going long distances because the train stations have a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs, and yes, you'll find some escalators and you'll find some elevators. However, sometimes it's a really long way that you have to walk to get to them. So you're going to end up going up and down stairs with your bags. So we minimize that by shipping our bags ahead. It's a fairly low cost. How much did we spend on shipping them?
$67.
That's really not bad at all. And we shipped 3 different times.
Yeah.
For that price.
So food, we did groceries of $133, and that was basically just, stuff from 7-Eleven, have snacks in the room, because we did have 7 nights with a club lounge where we ate at the hotel, but we didn't have any nights where we were cooking. So the rest of it was all eating out and food delivery. The eating out was $722 for the month, and the food delivery was $423, for a food total of $1,278. That's obviously higher than normal because we weren't able to cook at all because we were in Tokyo.
Exactly.
Then moving on to entertainment, most of this stuff stays the same. We did have a little bit of a higher cost on entertainment, movies, ball games, because we were in Tokyo and we did a lot of stuff. We went to Team Lab and some other things like that, which was really enjoyable.
Yeah, we did. We did a few museums, the team labs. We did 2 different team labs experiences and just different little things like that. But they're not super expensive is the nice thing about it.
Yeah, no ball games though because they were all out of town.
Bummer.
It was like they were not in town when we were there. So cell phone, we have a link in the description of what we use. It's an eSIM, $13 a piece per month. And then our health insurance, same thing, link in the description. That's $241 is what we pay. It's probably a little bit more if you're signing up right now. Then we didn't do any spas, hairs, nail, things like that because you don't usually do that in Tokyo.
No, plus we were too busy walking around doing things.
Yeah.
We got probably a minimum of like 18 to 20,000 steps almost every single day.
So our general budget is $4,000 a month. This month of moving around Japan, which is about as expensive as it's going to get, ended up being $4,332. And so I'm pretty happy with that because we didn't go over by too much.
Yeah, I think using points for a lot of things like flights and the hotels, plus those free night certificates, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
This could have been several $1,000s more.
It would have been.
If you pay for, paying for a business flight, business class flight, plus paying, for the hotel at the Conrad and the mess up, all of that would have been a lot more. So this could have been several $1,000s more without points.
Exactly. So let's jump into the income now, because this is kind of where we determine how we really did. Because it doesn't matter how much you spent, it matters how much you made to cover it. So on the GLF channel, which is this channel was started, if you're just watching this for the first time, about a year ago, and we are now making pretty regularly over $4,000. We made $4,246 on this channel in May, which pretty much almost covered our entire month. We spent $4,300, we made $4,200 on just this channel, which is pretty astonishing to us that there's several months now in a row where we've pretty much covered all our expenses with this channel.
Yeah, it's been really amazing journey on this channel, which is our most recent one. The next one is our Grounded Life Cruises channel, and this one is super interesting.
It is interesting because we decided to quit making videos on it for a little while. Not quit totally, but
a little break.
We took a break from it because we just, for whatever reason, we didn't want to do it. And so that's the beauty thing of it. You can decide that. So we have not uploaded a video in over 60 days on that, over 2 months. And so we were wondering last month, the income kind of stayed pretty level. We made $2,100 on that channel last month without uploading. And then so we didn't upload again this entire month, and the income went up to $2,332. So it went up $200 without publishing a single video. So we haven't made a video in I think like 75 days. We haven't been on a cruise in over a year. And we're making $2,332 a month. It's just sitting there. It's just making money. We're doing nothing for that. And we don't even log into the account. I haven't read a comment on that channel. I haven't done anything. It's just money coming in. So we did that kind of now just to see like what would happen and just for a data point. And that is the takeaway here, is that this really is the opportunity of a lifetime for most people. If you're a cruiser, I will say that a cruise channel is probably the easiest thing you could possibly do that I've ever seen. Like to make a cruise channel, it is so easy to make money with a cruise channel. And if you're interested in that, it seems like it's just this amazing thing, because it is. We've set up a course to walk you through how to make that happen, how to make sure your channel is set up, because there are ways you could mess it up. There are ways you could not make money, and we've done those as well on some of our other channels. But now that we've kind of figured out all the details of it after 4 years, we wanted to share that with people, because there's so many people who want to live this lifestyle, and they've thought, well, I can't afford to do that. If I only had a little bit more money, and if I only had $500 or $1,000 extra a month, I could do that. And we thought, that's why we started this channel, was to see how quickly and how much, and to show people, point blank, what the numbers are. And we've been blown away by what the numbers actually are. That's why we're doing little experiments, like not uploading a video for 2 months. Outside of the fact that we didn't want to, we did want to see what would happen, and the results are amazing. So we do have a link in the description to that course if you're interested. Totally worth it to get something going, especially if you like to cruise.
Yeah, this started with just a 1 month off. We thought, oh, let's just take, month of April off and not do videos on the cruise channel. And then we got to the end of the month and we were like, money didn't go down. What if we take another month off? And then that's exactly what we did. And actually, in that time, we don't spend a ton of time, as we've mentioned before. We spend about an hour a week per video together. So we don't spend a lot of time, but we thought, let's take that time off. Ended up doing a lot of fun things that we wanted to do in between. You took a lot more pictures and had some more time to edit and things like that. I actually ended up reading in this month. I read 6.5. Can you say a half of a book? Because I didn't finish it this month. Can you do that? I'm going to say 6.5 books this month. And actually my to be read list always gets longer. Our daughter, Alexa, actually started a book YouTube channel where she does reviews and different things like that. So if you like reading, you can check out her channel. I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. But I take actually a lot of recommendations from her because I like to read a lot of different things. And so I was able to read a lot of books that I really wanted to get through my list this month of May. And it was nice to have that extra time, from not putting in work on the video. It's nice that you can take breaks like that and not take a hit financially.
Yeah, the income is really mind-blowing. I mean, when you add in, so these are our smaller channels. We also have a bigger channel. So when you add in that and the affiliate income, we're pretty much well over $20,000 for the month. Again, that's kind of a normal thing, and we're only putting about 5 hours a week into this. So it really is something that's why we did this, was because we know, like, we've been there. We've been struggling pretty much our whole life with finances, because it's hard when you have kids and you're living and you're paying for all this stuff, and it's hard to get ahead, because we never worked at a job where we had a 401k. We were always just working with ourselves, and so we know what that's like. And we found this thing that's like this amazing thing, and we just want to tell people about it because it's totally changed our life. And in fact, just today I was adding up, the last cruise we took was on the Carnival Venezia. It was last June, and it was a 14-night transatlantic cruise. Now, we paid about $1,600 for that cruise. We got a pretty good deal, but we paid $1,600 for the cruise, and while we were on the cruise, we made a bunch of videos. And so today I just went through and added up how much money did we make just from the videos we made while we were on the cruise those 14 days. And those videos from those 14 days have already made us $4,600 and climbing. So during that 14-day cruise, we basically got our cruise for free and made $3,000 profit, which is kind of mind-blowing. The cruise channel is basically at a point where we could basically cruise year-round for free and make $1,000, $1,500 a week doing it. So I'm not really sure why we're not doing that. I've just now come up with this. So this is something.
Stay tuned. We might be switching to all cruises at all the time.
No, we're not, though, because there's so many great opportunities everywhere. I just wanted to highlight what the opportunity is. If you're a cruiser you should be doing this. And maybe you don't want to put your face on camera. We hear that a lot. You don't really need to. 50% of that income came from just the ship tour and the room tour, which is just holding the camera up and showing, and maybe you're explaining something. You don't have to be on camera. Allie likes to be on camera when she does the room tour, but a lot of people don't, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like to show the nooks and crannies of stuff because that's what I'm looking for in a tour.
Yeah. So, but you don't have to be. So that is something that you could do, and not to mention, if you did that, this is with us not really trying that hard. I mean, we haven't uploaded in 2 months. If you did that every week, your channel would get so big you'd make even more money. So
Exactly.
it's really just limitless. The bottom line here is, do not overlook. If you've been thinking at all about YouTube, we're here to tell you it is a wonderful opportunity, especially for people 40 and over. That's who makes the most money. We go over that in the course as to why that is, but if you are interested at all, check out the link in the description because it's life-changing.
Absolutely. It's pretty amazing. So all in all, total pushed us to how much for the month?
A little over $20,000 for the month. And so we spent $4,332, and so we had basically $16,000 left over that we are going to be investing and just doing, we're not really using it because it's pretty hard, the places we're going, to spend that kind of money. Like $5,000 is the most we could ever spend without doing something crazy.
Right,
So,
and you don't really want to be wasteful either.
Yeah, so a lot of the countries that we're going to coming up are going to be more like $3,000 a month because we're going to be going to Southeast Asia after this, and it's going to get a lot cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully, guys, this has been very helpful, enlightening. People always have questions. Leave those down in the comment section. Links for all the credit cards to see what welcome offers you get are in the description, as well as, link to our daughter's YouTube channel. If you're into reading, check that out. That's in the description as well as, of course, our YouTube course. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.